Hello, everybody.
3, not 2. Part 3
Hello,
of
everybody.
the crossover Elseworlds. And we continue. And this is the last one with Supergirl. So, as we ended in part 2, where Barry and Oliver, they go back to their original self and they become the Trigger Twin. And they are wanted and they're like running away. They meet Superman, but he's in a black suit and he's not Superman, he's Dickens. And then everything is just all messed up.
Yes, all the good guys are now bad guys and bad guys are good guys.
And like, you know, everything is all written differently and all these stuff like that. Supergirl is caught, locked up at supposedly Star Lab, not Star Lab anymore. It's like Superman Lab.
Yeah.
And all these things and all these crazy stuff. And they all try to solve that and rewrite stuff. And we get a little twist on what happens at the end, and more twists and more stuff. But that is like the gist of it.
Yeah, so it starts off obviously with Barry and Oliver waking up as themselves now, but then they are the Trigger Twins. Both of them don't have powers. Barry doesn't have his speed, so they're both regular. Oliver isn't even known as the mayor anymore, so they're just thugs. They get away from the police officers, but they get attacked by Dickens, and Dickens obviously Superman. So Dickens wants to be a superhero, but he wants to be like a tyrannical superhero.
So basically, this is what happened. This is why, like, when he met Supergirl said this to him. So when he looks in the Book of Destiny, it comes in contact with Supergirl and Superman. But from part 2, when they were in that, what is it at Gotham, that place where they keep all the crazy people?
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, can't say that. He meets Supergirl and he gets to see her powers. So when he rewrote it, he became the look of Superman with Supergirl's powers only.
Yes.
So he doesn't have Superman's power. He just has the appearance of it in a black suit, but with Supergirl's power.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, so essentially he made himself Supergirl or Superwoman.
But he doesn't want to be looking like a woman, so he takes Clark Kent's look.
Yeah.
That's why Supergirl's
So
like,
that's where it was kind of revealed that the book only shows you what is encountered in your Earth. And that's why he didn't know. That's why Superman and Supergirl's backstory is blank. There's nothing about them.
Yes, he doesn't know anything about them.
He kind of figured out that, yes, because they're from a different
he only knows how they look.
Earth.
Yeah, he only knows how they look, but the only reason why he was able to obtain Supergirl's powers because she came approached him and she fought him.
Yeah.
And then, so he just took her powers.
Now, I think watching this episode with Deegan doing the black suit Superman kind of reminds me of the Injustice storyline. How Superman created this tyrannical world where he was the ruler, he was the god of the world, and he was the ruler, and nobody stepped above him. And he kind of like killed people. He would rescue people if he wanted to, and he would do things his way. So it's kind of like it reminded me of that. Now, I don't know if that's what actually happens in the Crisis comics, but what I got from Dickens' character of being Superman is that it was kind of like the Injustice Superman character. He had his own base, his own workers, and they all have an S.
Yeah, it was like that because, you know, like Barry and Oliver proved it to us. Like, we got no superpower, but, you know, you want to be the superhero or you want to catch us. You know, this crane's going to fall on the kids. You want to save them and be Superman, or you want to catch us.
Yeah.
Because you could catch us any day, but, you know, you don't save them, it look bad on you. And what he had to do, make the decision of saving the kids and taking the crane.
Right. So they get away, and they go to look for the first person that they could think of that could send them to Superman, which is
Mr. Ramon.
Or Mr. Ramon. Obviously, this happens after a scene of Supergirl real waking up, that she's locked away inside of the prison in Star Labs. And
it had like dampened her powers.
Yeah, so it was a power dampening room. Now, obviously, she's not a meta, so they can't So her powers aren't locked away.
Yeah, it's not fully like dampened away.
Yeah. So it's not fully damped away.
It's just lowered.
But it's lowered. So she's not as strong, she's not as fast, whatever. But we get to see that Caitlin was Killer Frost, and she was on the bad side. She's Superman's minion. Diggles was also Superman's minion. And then we got to see, was it Alex?
Yeah, her sister.
Yeah, Kara's sister from Earth 32, Alex, she was also one of the workers there. Which she ends up freeing Kara after Kara has a...
Because she's not happy living on that Earth as well, too. Because here's the thing. Alex has come across Earth 1. But the thing is, Deegan does not know how Alex's character is in her world. So he could not create the new Alex in their world, even though he tried to rewrite her destiny of like she works for him and she's on his side, which means she's evil just like him. But Kara was able to break through her because Kara knows her sister.
Yeah.
Her sister wants a wife in her life, wants kids, wants her family, her sister, her parents, works with her friends, saving the world and stuff like that. It is nothing like the one Deegan created.
Right. Well, what they've also kind of made point of these characters of different Earth characters is that they're all the same by morals and ethics and values, and by heart they're pretty much all the same, but their destinies in that world is a little different. Like Barry on Earth 2 is like this big old nerd and this total wussy. But in reality, Barry on Earth 1 is also like that. He's this total nerd and kind of like a wussy. But it's because he got the powers of the Flash. It's because his ability, how he became the Flash, he learned how to become a hero. And you kind of saw that in Earth 2 Barry once they kind of like came in contact with each other. And they kind of like talked to each other. Earth 2 Barry started becoming kind of like a hero-like. And so by core, the characters are the same in every single different world. That's why Cisco is smart in every single one of his worlds. But Cisco is just, has different goals in life in the different worlds. And so...
Yeah, they gonna meet Cisco, Mr. Ramon, and he invites them to Superman.
Yeah.
And he explains everything to Superman, and Superman comes and help.
Yeah, so Superman knows about the book. He kind of tells them that he knew about the book. He knows what the book can do, and he's encountered. I think he kind of made a notion that he's encountered something like that before. So with that, then he knows that the only way to rewrite it is to use your willpower. And they go and they end up getting the book, which was in the Time Vault.
Which they called it
Deegan's...
It's like Superman's place or something like that.
Yeah,
ice place. And Bear's like, I just came from there. And then they like break through it. He goes, this isn't that. It's a Time Vault.
It's a Time Vault. There's no Gideon. It's just the book sitting on top of it. Yeah. So they take it.
They say that like Barry can't open it, Kara can't open it. She opens it, but like she doesn't have enough powers.
Yeah.
And the only person who can do it is Superman, so they take it to Superman. And as he is trying to rewrite everything back to normal, he's able to give Supergirl her powers back, Barry his power back, Oliver getting Green Arrow stuff back, and then Deegan comes and take the book away, and like they're like, okay, now he's like really, really, really taking advantage and changing.
He's destroying.
Yeah, he's destroying everything to his liking, everything like that. And Barry comes up with an idea that like, what if him and Kara runs opposite directions around the Earth, slowing the time?
Right.
And Superman goes, no, you guys can't. And he's like, why? And he goes, because that's exactly what you guys did in the book. And you guys die from it. And then we're like, but we got no choice but to do it, and we won't die from it. So those two take off doing that. And Oliver pretty much sends romance to go stop Deegan. And Oliver said, I'll be back. And Oliver takes off to go find the monitor.
Right. So earlier in the episode, at the beginning of the episode, Barry and Oliver by chance meet the Monitor.
They stumble
upon the wrong building, and they stumbled into the Monitor's like realm, his secret realm or something, in which they have a discussion with the Monitor, and the Monitor kind of tells them that he's not a bad guy.
He's a god.
He's just a god. He's just a god, and he's just preparing them for something worse that's coming. And so, fast forward through the episode, and that's what Oliver decides to go do, is to go back and confront the Monitor.
Because he cannot let Barry and Kara die.
Yeah, so he obviously does not. He looks at that Barry and Kara are like the more important characters in the more important like superheroes essentially that will be able to fend off whatever is coming. So he talks to the Monitor, and the Monitor and it was kind of like hinted, like Superman was saying, you can't change something without giving up something.
Yeah, so basically, like, Deegan gave up something. That's why he was able to give the book to Deegan.
Right. Deegan gave up something in order to get the book. Barry knows that. Barry learned that the hard way of creating Flashpoint, of him, dealing with speedsters and time remnants. He learned that if you want to do something that's going to change the timeline, you're going to lose something. And so we don't know what Oliver did. Oliver made a deal with the Monitor that made it so that Barry and Kara would not die.
Burn to death.
Yeah,
yes.
They won't die. And when they were running around, they got to Mach 7 and they stopped. They slowed down time enough for Oliver to come
destroy the book.
Obviously, everybody was moving slowly except for Oliver. And there's a reason for that. The Monitor gave him that ability to be able to move within that fraction of time. And so he moved within that fraction of time, and he shot
the book on fire.
He shot through the book and hit Deegan with a kryptonite arrow, which killed Deegan.
Because he's Superman.
Right. Well, it didn't kill Deegan, but it
kind of burned him.
It burned his face, and it turned him back into who he is.
Just ugly version.
Yeah. So obviously Superman, they get the book and they fix everything. Once they fix everything, all is well. Deegan's in Arkham Asylum as a prisoner. Kara, they
turn back.
They go back home. Obviously, they got help in fighting Deegan and the robot, because Deegan recreated the robot to fight Superman, and then all of a sudden, Lois Lane, the Martian Manhunter, and Brainiac show up to fight the guys, and Brainiac is like, what is this? Quite interesting. It can mimic your powers.
Let me take
care of it. And he destroys the shit out of that thing on his own.
He took the motherboard out.
Yeah, and then obviously the Martian Manhunter kind of does his own thing too, but that's beside the point. Kara, they leave. Oliver and Barry, they kind of have a discussion, and Barry kind of knows what happened.
Yeah, and Barry's like, "What'd you do?"
He's kind of feeling something happened.
He's like, "What'd you do?" And Oliver said nothing, and Barry's like,
"Yeah." Barry knows. He knows that Oliver had to do something. He knows that the way to change time is you're going to lose something. You're going to give something up to alter the course of time. And he tried to get it out of Oliver, but Oliver didn't want to tell him. And so it kind of ends off with Oliver getting a phone call from Batwoman, in which she talks about how Deegan's in prison, and he's kind of
he has a partner.
Yeah, he has a partner, the dude with like the yellow mask that she beats his butt in the second episode.
Is locked next to him.
Yeah.
And he's saying, "Oh, doctor, don't worry. A much bigger thing is coming."
Yeah. So, I forget his actual name, the character's actual name, but I was reading into it, and he's one of the main bad guys in the Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline.
Hint.
Hint. The reveal.
Fall of 2019.
Yes. it was revealed they didn't wait. They looked and said, we're gonna hype it up.
They didn't wait because we got Carl going like, is this an annual thing?
Yeah.
And Barry goes, I like it. It's an annual thing, and good boom.
Yeah. So
fall 2019.
They instead of like how for this season they kind of just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna let it happen. And we're not gonna talk about it. Or last season, we're not gonna really hype it up. This one they're hyping. They're straight up saying, we're doing the Crisis on Infinite Earth story, and expect it next year in fall. So, which is cool. That's because it's going to involve. I think it's going to involve. It's going to be it's going to be a 4-episode thing. It's going to have, and it would not surprise me if they even involve the DC Legends.
All 5.
All 5.
Ooh, yeah, I'll take that.
It would not surprise me if they do all 5, because guys, what you guys have to understand is the Crisis on Infinite Earth story is huge, and it involves so many characters. And because it involves so many characters, they have to make it kind of like a grandiose thing and make it where it happens in Flash, Arrow, Supergirl. Obviously, it's going to happen in Batwoman, and they have to make the DC Legends kind of come into it too, because they're going to be affected by it. And I think I'm really starting to think that it was supposed to originally be Barry who made that deal with the Monitor. Hence why he disappears. But I think they changed it. Oliver doing it, I think they changed it. So it's gonna, because there was a part in the episode, in this episode where they kind of made some references about the sky and everything of red. And so
because like when it was Barry and Oliver and Central City, it was like red.
Yeah, red skies with lightning.
But when they shift to Star City, it's like shifted.
Yeah, it followed them. Now, as you guys know, in the beginning of the Flash, they had that newspaper, and at the bottom right corner, they talked about the red skies finally disappear. So that is the whole clue to this Crisis on Infinite Earths, is that for whatever reason, Barry, it's supposed to take place.
Chasing Barry.
Yeah, it's chasing Barry, and it's tied to it has some significant ties to him.
I'm thinking it's because you guys remember when he came out of the timeline of how he came out, and then Cisco put something in there, that little thingy, the ball, and then he went and took it out and threw it. So I think there's nothing there anymore, and it's coming for him. Just a guess.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have something to do with that.
Yeah, because he left, and then he came out, and then in order for it to stop, they put something there which has the same vibration speed, whatever, like Barry, so that like it would think that Barry is there. But then, when he was going to go, whoever he was fighting, and he was like moving in such a fast speed, and and then he was like sweating and everything like that, he went and grabbed it again, like threw it again. It was like the DeVoe seasons. Yeah. He threw it again, and it's like, dude, that was supposed to make it so it doesn't come to you, and now it's gone, so it's coming.
Right. So that's thing is it's following him, and I really do believe that it was supposed to be Barry who made the deal with the Monitor, which could tie back to even the first crossover event in which they had the Dominators who showed up. And there was that recording that future 2049 Barry Allen made to Rip Hunter, that he made a big mistake. He made something that changed the course of time. And so I think we're kind of starting to build up to that point of the news articles are going to start becoming clearer and clearer. Is that I think because Oliver chose to do it, it's changing everything now. I mean, Barry was supposed to disappear. Think about it. You think about it again, right? If you're basing it off of what's supposed to happen, Barry's gone again.
Yeah, but you gotta take in what Jay Garrett said. The future is never set in stone. You can still change what happens in the future.
Right. I mean, hell, even Nora said time is malleable. But not everybody can rewind time.
FYI, she was missing this whole crossover.
She was missing this whole crossover, guys, but
nobody noticed
she created... Remember, guys, her book, her writing, is the same writing that's in that book.
That Destiny book.
That Destiny book. not only that, but when
Sherlock?
Sherlock Wells asked her about it, she said she learned that. She learned how to do that, and she created it. So she learned that from the Monitor. Or somebody taught, I'm assuming the Monitor taught her how to do it.
I'm gonna blame the Reverse Flash.
Because think about it, guys. Her ability to rewind time is totally different from going back in time. So if she could rewind time, the Monitor will look at her as the perfect being.
Mm-hmm.
Because she could rewind time, change it, rewind time, change it, and it doesn't affect anything. She can do things to the time time variables, and it won't affect it at all.
Yeah, time rats don't even come after her.
Yeah, because she's not going back in time, she's rewinding time, and when she rewinds time, she can then change the future. And it's like what Jay Eric said:
Future's never
the
set in
future is
stone.
never set in stone. So as long as you don't mess with the past,
Future can be
the
whatever.
future will be always different. And so I think it's a big thing why she wasn't here. Maybe because she saw this coming. She knew that.
She saw it coming. She had to leave
Yeah.
because the Monitor might be like, Nora, what are you doing here?
Right. Or they would have been like, Sherlock would have been like, hey, I recognize that book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I recognize those writings.
just some guests Ajashi and I were like thinking of
Yeah.
because we're like, where the hell is Nora?
Yeah.
Yeah, because at first in like the first part of the Flash for the crossover with the Flash, and we're like, oh my god, Nora and Sherlock don't exist, but Sherlock just like pops
Yeah,
up.
he
Like,
pops up.
he exists. Where is she? So it's like, oh,
The greatest moment. Sherlock knows who Superman is.
I know.
And he knows, so he comes up.
Can
He's
you
like,
take this to my wife, my third wife? Alimony. It's a little late, but please take it to her. It's
I'm like, good lord, this guy's been around every Earth.
yeah. But that is it for the final review of the Elseworlds, and we are very excited
Yeah.
for next year's crossover.
Yeah. Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yes.
That's gonna be big.
And at the same time, we are officially on our winter break, Christmas break. So we will not be singing. Well, this is basically review of what happened in the Supergirl episode, but and overall, it was more of the Flash for us. So we will not be seeing the Flash until January 15th. So
It's gonna be a whole month wait.
yeah, so we will not be having our reviews on Saturdays of the Flash
Yep.
anymore. So it's not like we're going away. It's the Flash is going away
Yeah,
for a while.
They're taking a hiatus, so we're taking a hiatus.
Just for the Flash. We're not taking a hiatus on other things, but we will see you guys again when the Flash returns, and we will
2019.
yes, and we will see how it would end for season 5 and what is going to happen with Nora.
It's gotta.
Huh?
Cicada.
I was say Scarlet. Who the hell's Scarlet?
Obviously, we know Reverse Flash is coming.
Yeah, he's coming. He's coming. But yes.
All right.
See you guys next time.